Welcome back to Chandler's channel. I'm Tracy with your intuitive monthly reading for May 2014. So thank you for being here. As always, before we go get Whitehawk, whom I consciously channel for your reading for the month of May, I always touch back on the previous month's reading, which was April. And in the April reading, we learned a lot about our ancestors and sacrifice and death and resurrection, with April being the month in which Easter was in this year. And Whitehawk asking us, just to pay homage, if not to Jesus, to our ancestors and what they've done for us in order to help our world evolve to where it was, what their sacrifices were. And if you look at it that way, then I think you can appreciate what Jesus did for us as well. It's like anything, right? It's history. It comes down to history. And if people, men love watching stories on war and the war heroes and that, and what they did and what they sacrificed for their country, for the people of their country. Well, that's similar to Jesus. So just take it from a historical point of view, from the story that is within it. And I think it's an amazing story of Jesus, a man who in 3 years, made a huge difference, a huge impact on the world through 12 or 13 people. It's not like he had a huge following at the time of his death, but he had impacted 12 to 13 people enough to go out and to spread the words, to spread the teachings. And through the story of him, this spread. And the morals, of course, it's about trying on what they're teaching you and seeing if it resonates with you and if it fits with you. And it brings joy and happiness to your world and your life. Well, how could you not if it fits? I mean, if it doesn't fit, then yeah, poo-poo. Find something else that fits for you. There's Buddha, there's all kinds of other gods, and in the end, I think they all have the same moral, right? It's all about goodness. So that's what Whitehawk had to say. And then there was a point in time as well where he spoke of people having contempt, and I think it was more not just about him, but it was about contempt towards me as well in the way I read. And there was a situation that did arise, where there was some contempt. Now, you wouldn't have seen it in the comments. It happened elsewhere, where I just spoke up and spoke about what I was seeing, and it was a situation that was kind of a lot like someone becoming me, stealing my persona. It was a lot like the movie Single White Female. I don't know if everyone's seen that, where a girl comes into this other girl's life and she starts wearing her hair like her and dressing like her, and then she steals her boyfriend, and then she gets the same job as her, and she starts to really create chaos in the world and just starts to steal all this girl's stuff so that this girl gets nothing and is nothing, and nobody else can see this going on, and they just think she's jealous. And in the end, what happens is, people finally do realize that this girl has been doing what she's been saying, and I think in the end did something with a stiletto to the eye or something. Anyways, so I spoke up about it, and in the end, of course, what happens is people like that will turn it as though somehow they're the victim, when indeed it was you who's being victimized. But they'll turn it like they're the victim, and they will take it to people who will be on their side, and so that their power grows that way. But in their heart, it doesn't matter about any of that. In their heart, they know what they have done. They know the situation in which they created, and they have to live with it, no matter the outward chaos that they have created. And the situation is so funny because, I would make a move left, and that person would move left even more. And so I can see it and other people can't see it, but it doesn't mean it's not happening. And you have to stand up for yourself, and you have to stand your ground regardless of what other people say. And I will tell you immediately, when you when you confront somebody with something, they will twist it and they will turn it and they'll say, you're the crazy one, but you know you're not. And you have to just sit with that. You have to live with that, knowing that that's how those people work. It's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows. It's not. But you know you've stood your ground and now you get to move forward. And so this is what had occurred. And so that's all to say that did occur in April, as Whitehawk had stated in the April monthly reading. Now that may have manifested somehow else in your world as well. Maybe there was someone who had contempt for you in your job or in your relationship. And I mean, this person who, when they brought in another person, they attacked my reading style and how I was not, that they would never watch what I say and talk about, because I wasn't like them. I didn't, I use it for healing and love, and theirs is more about exposing and scandal and what's everything else, like TMZ and all those. Their whole industry is built on celebrity and exposing them, right? And not TMZ is more scandalous, and it's kind of the same thing. Instead of building a place of love and hope, they kind of degrade and tear it down, and so we're just two different readers living in a world, and that's just what it comes down to. So anyway, so that's what happened regarding that. Okay, so let's go get Whitehawk and see what he has to say for us in the month of May. Indeed. We have come to play in this month we call May. And so what I want to say to you, children, as I speak with you regarding the upcoming month of May, I will simply say it will be an expose. And so many of you are wondering, well, what the heck does that mean? Because that means stuff are going to be exposed. And he says exactly. Much will come to the surface. Much will finally be exposed in life around you, allowing you to better see your world and how the bricks of the new foundation that you are building will begin to lay themselves. And I'm aware that Jesus has arrived, and he is here as well. And I see him, he's walking towards Whitehawk and I, and it's funny because in regards to Whitehawk saying about bricks being laid and a foundation, we are on a piece of land and there is some bricks being laid, and it looks like it's going to make a house, right? I mean, I'm not sure what it's going to make, but there's like a bottom, bricks in the bottom sort of in the shape of an L right now, and they're red bricks. And Jesus comes along, and he's always very happy to see us. And when he arrives this time, he is dressed in, not white, he's dressed in a kind of a burlap color, so a beigey color. Yep, and it's almost like it's a burlap. What is that called that goes across them? They wear across them, and then they wear a belt. So there's something under them. That's like they have their garment underneath them, and then they have this burlap sash, I guess, kind of. And then they wear the belt over it. And so that's how Jesus arrives, coming to us. And he's always so happy. He shakes Whitehawk's hand and gives him a hug, and then he turns to me and gives me a big hug, and he's like, oh, he's like, you big lug. And it's like he's younger. He's the younger Jesus than I've normally seen. He's a human Jesus. It's like he was in his days on here on earth. Like he's showing more personality. And I love his hair. He's got like this brown, curls, like not tight, but tight enough to his hair. Because usually you see him with the long hair, like kind of like this, right? But it's like curls. It's really nice. And he says, "Where do I start? How can I help?" He wants to help us build this foundation. And Whitehawk says, like, "We don't need to tell you, you can." He's like, "No, tell me. I want to know how to help you. I don't need to always know. Tell me. I want to know. How can I help?" And it's like, then there's like this horse, like, and I don't mean a horse in regards to animals. I mean, a horse is in a sawhorse, it's the wooden, and to 2 V's on each end, and then a piece of wood on top. And I get the sense, that Jesus is going to use his carpenter skills. He's come into the physical to help us to build, and he's going to use his skills to help us build our new home, our more stable ground, more stable home, a proper foundation. And so he's just a really jovial young guy. I don't know. I don't think he's even in his 30s. I think he's like 25. Oh my God, I could eat him up. I really could, guys. And he just starts taking wood, and he's cutting it, and he's creating something with it, and boom, he's made a chair. Okay, so he's not going to lay the bricks of the foundation, but he's going to help fill your home. He's going to help fill your home. So he makes this chair, and then in this chair, and it's not modern day chair, right? But it's solid wood. It is solid. And then it's it's got the backing, and then there's a little heart he's cut out in the wood. It's really it's funny, right? And then he builds this really sturdy, solid table to go with that chair. And so we're continuing to lay the foundation, do the brickwork, build our home. And we're all doing this together. And, we're not feeling the laboriousness of it. We're not feeling like it's a chore. We're actually in tune with each other. And we're enjoying each other's company. And we're helping each other build. We're helping build our new residence, our new home, our new place. And it says worship. That's what I hear, so I'm just going to deliver that. And so by time we've got like our 4 outside walls now built. And so the roof's not on yet, and so I can sort of see in through the top, and Jesus is sitting on the table, and not on the table, sorry, he's sitting at the table in his chair, and he's asked us to come join him, and so there's other chairs, and so we go and join him, and then the old pitchers, it's like a silver pitcher, it's got that big lip at the end, and it's holding some form of liquid, and he says, "Come, have a drink with me," and so we sit, and he pours the liquid into goblets, silver goblets, and we drink. And it does not matter that which is in the goblet. We just drink, and we get merry and enjoy each other's company, and we're laughing, and we're just overwhelmed with the amount of joy. And sometimes, that same emotion of joy can feel a lot like sadness, but in this case, it's not sadness. We're just so joyful to be there with each other. Whitehawk, me, and Jesus. And I don't think it just means those guys. It just means within our world. And so we just continue enjoying each other's company, and laughing and singing and being very comfortable around each other. We are alive. We are alive. Thank you. And he says, next week, the roof. That's what Jesus said. And he's laughing. I like that there. wow. And so there you have it. That's so, it's so funny about joy, how it's such a strong emotion, and it can be feel a lot like sadness, but it's not sadness, it's different. It's, makes you cry, but like you're joyful, you're just really happy. And so that's what it feels like. So I think those are really good images and words for the upcoming May. I think we're gonna, find good company, guys. Or it's gonna be a lot of joy. So here's to May, despite what April was, right? We had to birth. We had to go through the gestation period to get to where we're going to be in May. So it's all good. All right, so if you don't usually listen to my intuitive weekly readings, which occur on Thursdays now, then you would not have known about what I'm going to do with the intuitive weekly vlogs, which happen on Mondays. There are 4 a month. And so what I've decided to do with one of those Thursdays, because usually one of those is the intuitive monthly reading, and then the other 3 are just on subjects, whether it be on, last one we did was on autism, which is a really comforting and just delightful message. And we've done it on cancer, we've done it on spirit guides. But what I'm going to do now is once every 4 weeks, I'm going to do open up the episode to answer questions. And so 2 subscribers, will get their question answered during the episode. Now, you won't know who it is until you come and watch that episode. But in order to be eligible to get a question answered, you have to be a subscriber. So if you're not, please subscribe. It's easy, just open a YouTube account. 2, you have to comment at least once during the 4-week period on my video. And then you have to make another comment, which is going to be your question. Now, your question can be very vague. It does not matter. Whitehawk knows what is truly in your heart and really what the question is about. So you can just say a general overview of my life, and what's going to pop up is probably going to be the most important thing. So whatever is really on your brain, maybe not consciously on your brain, could be a subconscious or an unconscious thing that he's going to bring up and pop out, and you're going to go, holy crap, how do you know that? And it's not even about, well, how do you know that? You're going to be like, wow. Or it's going to be, perhaps mom and dad are going to come and visit you or something like that. Sometimes you may put a question, but something else is going to come back through that's more important or pertinent that divine guidance believes you need to hear. And again, because you could be concerned that many people will be seeing this comment, don't be. A lot of the times too, the message that comes through is specifically for you, and that even if I tried to interpret it, I couldn't, because images are very personal. And so, the way I can explain this is that when I see a spider, or when someone says spider to me, that comes across to me as the evil woman. I have to be very careful of that other aspect of myself that can come out. But for another person, another reader I know, it is her spirit guide coming through to her. A spider is her spirit guide coming through to her in the physical world. And that can be the same. When I see a hawk in the sky, that's Whitehawk coming to me in the physical world. But a hawk or an eagle may be something very different for someone else. So the message is very personal because its intention and its interpretation is specified for you. So even if we think we know what Whitehawk's talking about, I bet you we don't. We don't. And it doesn't matter how many readings I've done. It's encrypted so you understand it. And when you put your comment down, you can just be very general. Or you can be very specific. It's really about your comfort level. So subscribe. You have to comment on one of my videos. And then you comment with your question. And specify that this is for the upcoming Thursday vlog episode where you answer questions. Right? So right now I'm doing the intuitive monthly reading, then I'll do another topic, and then the following, so it's actually once right now every this 3rd week, and then it'll skip to the 4th week. Then I'll do the readings on air here. So get crack-a-lackin', because you don't have 4 weeks to answer on a video, to comment on a video. You actually have about 2 weeks. So we'll see you here. I can't wait for it. Again, another way is on my Facebook. Join me on my Facebook. 0 to 100 likes on my page. The first 0 to 100 likes on the page, not a status or a comment. You know, it has to be the page. Gets a 30-minute reading with me and Whitehawk, which is a $70 value. So get crack-a-lackin', guys. There's some good stuff for you there. Subscribe. It's free. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. God bless. We'll see you back here for the intuitive intuitive weekly reading on Thursday.